Hi, welcome to the workshop. Now, because it's Christmas, today's episode is going to be a little bit special. Now, let's face it, Christmas is all about surrounding yourself with your friends, family, and people who you care about. And if you can't find any of them, well, any old reprobates will do.
Well, this is very nice, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Where's Ed with those teas?
Oh, here he is.
Yeah. Merry Christmas, chaps.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Hostess with the mostest.
There you go, so go for it.
Oh, thank you very much.
There we go.
Look at that.
Well, everybody, happy Christmas.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. Well, obviously, Christmas is a time when you want to be surrounded by your friends and family, and if you haven't got any of those around you, well, I suppose anybody will do, so well done, guys. Fantastic.
Hi, guys.
Thanks a lot.
Come on then, as it's Christmas then, what are you all hoping for to find under the tree? Come on, John.
It's got to be a Range Rover.
What, a finished one or just a replacement one?
Well, not a finished one.
A finished one. Okay, that's not going to happen.
It's snowing outside. We need something.
Well, not this Christmas, anyway.
Yeah, maybe a Christmas. We'll go with that.
Christmas.
Another year.
Negative waves again.
Come on then, Paul,
They're
what
all
about you?
positive. Well, actually, I like some headphones.
Some headphones.
Yeah. I mean, I go out for dog walks every single day, so it'd be really nice if I had some nice headphones. So I can
so you
listen
can
to
listen
some
to
nice
me.
music.
Yes.
Well, actually, I
okay.
don't want to listen to you waffling on, but it'd be nice if I had some nice headphones so I could listen to some nice music when I'm walking my dog.
Okay,
So that's what I fancy.
That's very nice. I think I'm going to go with holiday vouchers. It'd be nice to have a little bit of a break. There we go. But what about you, sir?
I'd love to find my tree underneath the two-post ramp after using your one here.
Nice.
I think that's quite unlikely.
I don't know. You can choose where you put your tree. That's very cool. Go on then, Adam.
High lift, lightweight trolley jack, low entry as well, of course. So
That's quite specific, but very
It
exciting.
is,
So that's
yeah.
good.
It's something I've wanted for a long time. My trolley jack is so heavy. It's just every time you try and move it, it's just, it's like trying to move, I don't know, a tank.
A heavy trolley jack.
A heavy trolley jack, yeah. So
That's
high
it.
lift, lightweight,
Sounds
low entry.
really
All
nice.
right then.
I've got a low entry air jack at home, which is really cool.
That's quite cool.
Yeah, then that was really cool.
Have you got air?
No.
Got a lot of wind, but no air. Fair enough. Now, obviously, we still haven't fixed the insulation, so it's lovely and wintry in here. And I see you guys are nice and prepared. We're not so much. But what does yours say on the top?
I've got two words for you, Ed. Oh dear. As in reindeer, obviously.
Obviously,
We
yes.
change the subject.
Yeah, we should move on. Absolutely. In fact, I'll tell you what, let's get some crackers out because then we get to have some hats. It'd be fantastic. So off you go. There you go.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
I have no idea what's in them. I'm sure they'll be very exciting. No idea. Well, anyway, whatever.
Go on,
Are we doing
go
that
on.
kind of?
Ready?
That's a bit confusing, isn't it? No, hang
Well,
on,
we
boys.
can do like that. Well, hang on.
We ready? Hang on, then. No, you haven't got one. Oh, whatever.
yeah.
Do it. Ready? Go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey.
Brilliant.
Oh, hang on.
Go on, you can have that one.
Oh,
You've got a pack
thank
of
you.
cards. It's nice.
Yeah.
I just want the hat, really.
Nail clippers, not a trolley jack.
Not a trolley jack.
Oh.
Okay.
No.
We've got some terrible jokes in there somewhere, I think. But then, there we go.
Poor old Neil.
Oh, I've got a paper clip
I
in the
said it
second
was
one.
unlikely.
Oh, look at that. For pastry.
Where's your hat? Come on.
I haven't got a cracker.
How did you manage that?
Because you took one from that direction.
Yeah, call it for pastry.
There we go.
Hey!
It's not going to keep you warm though, is it, this hat?
I got some mini suspension.
Well, that is totally unplanned. That is fantastic, but we don't want any more to do with your mini suspension, thank you very much. It was a huge job that started out as just maybe 1 or 2 days, but just went on and on and on.
It was, but it was quite epic and so good when we stepped back and looked at it. You got the rose jointed arms, the John Cooper Works brakes, the Erlin suspension.
It's, hang on, it's Swedish. It was I can't even do that. Swedish or something, but there's Erlins.
Erlins.
I think. There we go. That's pretty much correct.
That is a
Sorry.
mouthful, isn't it?
But yes, but it doesn't matter how it looks. How did it dry?
It was fantastic. I tried to have a straight face when I drove up to you at the end of that test drive,
Yeah.
but I just couldn't. It was just too much fun.
Well, he's finally on his way back. So how was it?
Fantastic.
Cool, so the brakes are working.
Yep.
And how balanced does it feel?
Really turns in, it's responsive, loads of grip, awesome.
Fantastic.
But I think I just need to check a little bit more. yeah, it's loads of fun and lots more fun to come. Yeah.
Yes, well, that's the thing, because I guess you're going to be campaigning that in, what, maybe next year? Or
Yeah, next year we'll get it out on track.
Okay.
I've got a few little jobs to finish off over winter. As ever.
Yes, we're shut. Actually, the workshop's completely, I don't know what happened, it's completely closed.
I was just going to go outside.
chance.
It's just open the.
No, we'll be snowed in, I think, and then I'm washing my hair that day, so yeah, it's very difficult. But,
Yeah, it might take you a while. Yeah.
well, because that mini went on for so many episodes, obviously you got plenty of opportunity for lots and lots of comments. So what was your favourite out of all those, do you think?
Yeah, I was just blown away by the number of lovely comments, but I particularly enjoyed the ones in the first episode, back to the first episode, when I was driving with Anna, co-driving, and we had that bit of an incident on the stage where we fell into the hole and almost rolled the car end over end.
Yeah.
And she asked me if we were okay, and I just said, yeah, well, we're the right way up.
Slowing, caution, crest and bump, into downhill, turn square right, trees. Oh! Are you alright?
Well, we were the right way up.
It's kind of all I was worried about at the time.
Well, yeah, exactly. You just got to keep on driving.
Yeah, the second thing I think in my head was we got 4 wheels and then we had a corner coming, so off we were again. But yeah.
Well, it's actually one of the things that's been a real privilege for making the show this year is getting to know you lot out there. It's been quite wonderful. Some of you have been very funny, some of you have been very cheeky, and there's been lots of sageful advice as well. So we've actually changed the show to actually accommodate some of your dreams and desires, which has been rather wonderful. And there's also been a fair few number of top tips as well. So we've actually all learnt from you while you've been learning from us, which has been great fun. And recently, loads of you have been commenting on one particular person who you'd like to hear more from. Now, even though I've actually explained to you that you didn't want to talk on camera, you've said make him. So I will. Alex? Aha. Look at that.
Merry
And you
Christmas,
bring
guys.
gifts as well. Look at this. Oh, good stuff.
I brought
Well
you
done,
some
sir.
sausages.
Right, just pop that right down there, I think.
God, they look nice.
Yeah.
Very good. Look at that.
They look
Tuck in,
warm.
chaps. There you go, sir.
Thank you very much.
Mulled wine. Well, there we go. Look at that. In fact, I'm going to dive in straight away. Well, Alex, I think you owe these lovely people at home some explanations. So what would be your favourite car that you've worked on, and what is perhaps the favourite car that you'd love to work on?
Well, I think my favourite car to work on is probably my Project E30. I've had it for quite a few years now, but I've put in an E36 2.8 engine in it, which goes well.
Goes well,
Yeah,
good.
but now I'm thinking I need a bit more power, maybe a V8 or maybe even make it go electric. And I know exactly who to talk to about that.
No, I'm busy as well. But actually, it could be the way forward. I mean, it's interesting because it comes back to that question again, is like, if a car is obviously about the engine, which I guess the BMW kind of is, if you like that sound, it's going to be difficult to give that up. But at the same time, in all that space, because they're quite big engines, aren't they? There's quite a lot of stuff in there. You could get an awful lot of electricness, if you like, into that space as well. So you could actually kind of up the performance. But of course, it's nice and stealthy quiet. So yeah, it could be a good way to go, but not necessarily cheap. So certainly bear in
not
mind. So
cheap
what
at
about
all.
the kind of the car you'd love to work on?
Well, I think my favourite would probably have to be an aerial atom because, I mean, there's no panels to strip off, you just can see the engine and they don't really tend to go wrong either. But then it's then taking it out for a test drive afterwards, which,
always
yeah, I mean,
about
you have to take them out for a test drive just to make sure they're okay.
Absolutely, that's a great choice, and really, that's quite interesting, isn't it? Actually, because I mean, years and years ago, I had a sand rail, which is basically the same sort of thing, just loads of tubes, but it was more built for off-road. And again, obviously, the engine's really easy to get to and stuff, but it does get a little chilly, so it's not necessarily a winter car; it's more of a summer car, I think.
True. I'm sure you could put up with it though.
Yeah, heated seats, perhaps, maybe some extra clothing. That's a good choice. Well, there we are. Now you know, but also a lot more of you have been asking, who is Alex? So, go on, Alex, who are you?
So I'm a train mechanic and I mainly work on Mercedes Sprinter vans, refrigerated, and that's how I know John, and he's been teaching me how to do refrigeration and air conditioning. So yeah, that's what I
Everything
tend to
he
do.
knows, no doubt.
Not a lot.
You got it, didn't you, Alex? You got it.
It's a bit existential.
It wasn't Alex. I wasn't asking who Alex is. He was a gift from above because he's the baby Jesus.
Come on. Well, I think that's it. We've now responded to all of your comments about Alex, but more to the point, how about you guys? Have you actually got some favourite comments?
I have.
I got plenty of comments.
Yeah, well, one of his mates has
Yeah.
put this message up saying the fact that now the body's off, it'd be that much easier to get into the scrap bin.
He's got a point, but that's not where we're going. Okay, chaps, everybody get a corner. So this is finally the moment of truth. We are now going to try and separate the body from the chassis. Hopefully, we have got everything we think we need to get. There's bound to be one cable, there usually is, but let's give it a go. So you ready?
Go.
Everybody see your side?
Yep.
Here we go.
Yep.
Yeah,
Is that all
moving.
good?
Yeah.
keep
Yep,
going.
slowly.
Yeah.
So that's looking pretty good. How are we doing at the back? Yeah?
Yep, all good.
Oh, just 1 second.
1 second, I'm one
second.
seconding.
Hang on.
I've got a loom tight here at the back.
Can I go down a bit?
Yeah. I think it's just bolted to the back of the engine on a bracket, and that's it. You see it there, Paul?
Yeah, I can see it
Yeah.
just.
There's always one, there's always
Yeah.
one.
Just that one harness there, look onto the back of the cement head.
Okay.
What do we need?
Tin snips.
No, it looks like a little, like an 8mm
Yeah, I'll go with
or
that.
something.
Some with long arms.
Who could that be?
Yeah.
Smashing. One more, is there? Yep.
And then you've got the ECU connectors that really gently as it comes through the bulkhead.
Okay. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So that's it. So that is our wiring out of the way. So here we go. Everybody man their stations again.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on the front.
Right, ready? Here we go. Second time lucky. Ready?
Yep.
Oh,
Now, Alex, can you see the fuel lines? Are they okay? They're free?
Yeah.
The ones at the back, at the front here, the ones going on the side.
Oh, wait, hold on a minute.
You got issues?
I think it's attached by a cable tie at the midway
Unattach
through.
it immediately. There we go. Is that going to do it?
we've got one cable that's just jamming at the back of the engine somewhere. I can't see. Let's.
There's the speedo cable.
Okay, that's disconnected.
Cool.
Anyway,
Carry
so-
on, carry on. Are you good? Are you good there?
Yep.
Alex?
All good.
All good.
Yeah, here we go. More.
Yep. More.
Third time lucky. Oh, I can hear crispiness.
What's that?
So
Is that handbrake cable?
That's the
on it?
handbrake cable. Is that?
Is it just stuck on a little P-clip?
Yeah, hang on. I'll go down a little tiny bit, and then if you can dive in.
Yep.
Hang on, there's a...
Then I'll just push it down and out, I think. What's that? Okay, Adam, can you see that? Can you reach?
Yep. Yeah, I can reach it now.
It's just that little hook.
Just gonna go. There we go.
Brilliant, well done,
Yep, we're off.
fantastic. Okay, carry on, lovely. Okay, so fourth time lucky, I think, or is it fifth already? I don't know, I think probably fourth. Here we go. How are we doing?
Oh, got it. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, got it.
I mean, that's pretty good.
Oh, look
I
at
would
that.
say we have guaranteed total separation. Look at that.
Fantastic.
I think a round of applause.
Hey. Well done, everybody.
Well done, chaps. That was quite a job. So all we have to do is just roll out the chassis, and then we can put this somewhere safe. I think there's a metal bin in the yard. Wonderful. Well, that was a good old day's work, but there we are. Should we wiggle? There we go. Oh, awesome. So now... Whew. How about that first? There we go, there we go. It's looking good, looking good. Right, hang on. So, can you get over the top of that? Lovely. There we go. And away.
Okay, a bit more. That's it. Lovely.
That made very light work of that, didn't it? That's amazing. Now, while I like your big tool, Paul, I reckon that could still do it, because this is designed for even bigger stuff.
That's
amazing.
Far too long.
But it worked, which is cool. Now, at the very start of this particular bit of work, I did rather suggest that the hardest part of this project was going to be to hoik out the engine and gearbox, because everything else is just going to drop off. Well, actually, I'm not that far from the truth. It turns out that this Range Rover has been quite kind to us. Almost all the nuts and bolts we've actually had to go and remove have come out relatively easily. But we're now at that point where there's still quite a bit to undo, and it's all getting a little bit fiddly. But handily, this particular era of Range Rover, if you can find just the right spot, with just the right amount of effort and just the right hammer, it can actually make your life a lot easier. Well, that was a lot easier than I was expecting. In fact, I don't know why we didn't do that a bit earlier, to be honest, but now it's done. The chassis is completely stripped down, which is fantastic.
That's quite true, actually, because now it's all in manageable pieces. So we can actually take them out there and plop them in. What do you reckon?
No, you're definitely right. It
Well,
would be much easier to dispose of.
I mean, I have talked to John again and said, look, why are we doing this?
Well, we know it's sentimental.
Well, I know, but I think we need to change that.
No, I think that's it. We're going to do this now. We're going to make it. We're going to make the Rat Rover a thing. So now we've got a really lovely start. So the next job is going to be actually trying to sort out that chassis. So
I think the next part is actually getting all the new parts. That's what we need to do.
Well, we need to start with a nice foundation first, surely.
Yeah.
That's how it works, isn't it?
Yeah.
I really
New
like the
chassis, and then we can put new bits and pieces on it.
Anyway, well, we'll obviously talk about this later, but it's a good comment. Or a rude
New
comment,
parts,
frankly.
John? Would you rather have new parts on it or refurbished parts?
Oh, definitely refurbished.
Oh, no.
I want to see you sweat.
Yeah, exactly. We've got very little else to do, and it's quite cold in here, so it's good to do a bit of extra work. Exactly, yeah, it's good. Go on then, Paul, what about you? What comments have you seen?
Well, I've had lots of comments on it, and people are surprised that, how much knowledge I've got, apparently. So I don't know where they've got that from. And they're happy that I'm working with you again.
Which is good, yes. We're all
on Workshop Diaries.
Yeah.
So I'm really enjoying it. So lots of positive comments.
That's good.
Keep up the good work.
And now you're allowed to talk. I guess that's why Alex
Exactly.
does not talk.
So Alex doesn't talk because obviously all those years on Wheeler Dealers I wasn't allowed to talk.
Well, there's only so many words available, frankly.
I can talk.
Yeah.
So no holding me back now.
Let's hope you come out with some pithy wonders before.
I think it's going to be some good one-liners coming out of me. I tell you.
Okay. I look forward to that.
Yeah.
All right, Paul.
Hi. Bye.
It's from your Wheeler Dealer days, how was your mate Paul? Did he work with you a lot or only pop up on TV occasionally? Now, I remember you getting paid to be on Wheeler Dealers, but did you actually do any work?
Well, basically, if you saw me do it on TV, then I probably did. But
Maybe you were very, very busy in the back room.
I was very busy, obviously, behind the scenes, as you know, doing all the work on all the cars, making you guys look really good.
Thank you.
So that's really important.
Yeah.
And that was my job role, really, making sure that everything was good.
Yeah. So the last show then you did, probably worked on, series was Pro Series 12, right?
Yes, it was. Yes.
So once we both left, since then, have you actually sort of worked on the show at all?
No, I haven't had any involvement with the show whatsoever.
Okay, and are you enjoying the new series?
Well, I've got two words really for you, Ed. Oh dear.
Okay.
Should we move on? Should we move on? Let's
Okay,
move on.
fine. Yes. What are you doing at the moment? Come on then, Adam. What comment have you read?
Well, Interdiction 2 actually put a comment up, and it was when you was working on my Mustang and you was sat at the front wing and then you suddenly seemed to be able to push the door switch in with your arm.
Absolutely.
And he was talking about the length of your appendages.
So I've now got one of my probes into our central connector, our A+. So I'm now going to connect it into the other terminal, the red and black terminal. So at the moment there's continuity between the two. So if I now operate the door switch, it should go off, which it does. Undo it again and then close it again. There we go. So that just goes to show that's correct. So because I've left, I'm just getting that horrible noise away. It was very easy to be able to reach around the car like that. It makes it a lot easier to work on. So, Alex, yourself, have you seen any comments you've quite enjoyed?
Yeah, one of the comments says, could you please keep up the flashy messages a lot longer so they can actually read them?
Aha, the pixie parcels. Yes, well, they actually started out as an accident, and once you brought our attention to them, Obviously they went away and they've continued ever since. So obviously if it was easy to see, then it wouldn't be anywhere near as much fun to see those wonderful messages. So that's why it's quite hard. But you can actually slow down YouTube, so you can actually make the sort of the play speed, I think it's down to point or like a quarter or something. So you can actually then make it more easy to find that pause button. Or apparently once you've paused it, you can also use the cursor keys, I think, to actually move the frames backwards and forwards so you can read them. But if it was really easy, it wouldn't be so much fun, would it now? Now, talking of pixies, here's a selection of clips and comments that the pixies found particularly pertinent. Now, the key tactic when using a machine like this to clean out the inside of a rusty fuel tank is to make sure that you don't rush it. Because if you do rush it, covered in rust. Well, now the mini manual does suggest that to actually get to these bits and pieces we actually have to drop the whole of the subframe out, but that is quite a bit of a faff. You need to remove the exhaust, you need to undo an awful lot of bits and pieces. I'm kind of hoping that if we can actually just undo the rear of the subframe, we might be able to get just enough movement to give access to these difficult to get to bolts. So I'm going to start. Oh, it's going down a little bit. I'll just give it a bit more space. I mean, I can get a spanner on it just about, but I'm never going to get it to actually move. The one on the front on either side, I mean, I can get probably over there. I might be able to get my arm up through here, but I'm never going to get any purchase because I'm going to move away. And then, of course, these bolts either side going down the length of the car, we're never going to get those out either. So,
yes, time to drop the exhaust off, take the front of the car off, just
remove
go for it.
Yeah, remove the subframe just like BMW said. Brilliant. And this is a lot easier doing it here than it was inside the car, isn't it, really?
It certainly is.
Cheese out. Fantastic. You took your time, sir.
Well, I wanted to make sure you did a good job.
Nice, thank you. Well, I'm getting there actually, not too bad. In this episode, I'm going to insert this into an orifice to examine a void. Right, so I've now removed most of the excess weld. But the main thing is I've actually now made a cut on the top of the bracket here, so this can now be manipulated back into position. Also, I've then got to try and stretch this crumple bit back out into position, and for all of that, I'm going to need some heat. I'm going to try and just bend it if I can. Oh, just trying to wrestle this last few little bits into place, so it's pretty flat on there now. It's not brilliant, but it's getting there. Going by this side, that's actually all in sort of reasonable nick. And look at that. So you can see that actually it's pretty parallel between there and there, which is obviously a massive result compared to the 30-degree weirdness we had before. And that is a big moment, so I think we should go on a test drive. The main test, let's get around this little bend here. The main test, of course, is what happens when I let go of the steering wheel. Am I going to get flung into a field? Well, here goes. Ho-ho! Look at that! And I'm just wafting along nicely. The camber of the road is ever so slightly tipping me to one side or the other, but I'm not stranded in the field having embarrassed myself, which is the main thing. So, job well done.
I've seen an orange driving along the road on its own.
Electric vehicles want as much power as possible from the battery pack they've got on board. So in our case, we're using 360 volts, and also in our case, I'm going to be using some fusing at 300 amps. Now 300 amps is actually 300,000 milliamps, so you can see it's going to do a lot of damage, and that amount of current looks like one of these. So let's have a little go, about 360 volts here. Let's pop it onto here like so. As I said, to about, I don't know, 360 volts or so. Here goes. Amazing, that stuff is so strong. Pop it on there and see what happens. Okay, we're going to have to use other things. Maybe it's not possible to break this glass. Maybe it's unbreakable glass. So let us set this at about 360 volts and see what happens. Yeah, it's just rude. We've got marks where the paint. So it's impressive.
Yeah, along the bottom edge.
Yeah. Just disappointing now, isn't it? This is getting bent in the middle, so it's obviously working. So if we go for about 360 volts, let's see what happens. That left paint. That is incredible. Amazing. So, here we go, see what happens. And that's definitely going to be shattering for your heart. Yeah, you can hear it will go. Well, we did it. Hooray! Hey, where did the ball go? Oh, hang on, I can hear fuel. I can hear fuel. Oh, this isn't good. Oh man, I was so close. There really is only one thing one can do in this situation. Now I've placed the container right here because I think the fuel was mostly dripping from this area, but I'll wear some protective glasses just in case. I've got my little button here. So when I push this, the fuel pump should pump the fuel through the system and it should just leak here, and I should be able to tell exactly where it's coming from. So here goes. So you can hear it pumping. The fuel pump's running. Oh my word, hang on. Well, I was nearly there. I mean, you know, really, yes, I can actually see it really is coming out at some pace. So it's literally just on the back, on the top there. So that's kind of good news in a way, because it means that potentially that bit could be fixed. But to be honest, it does look rather rusty all the way along. So rather than just chucking more fuel over the workshop and onto the floor again, another way I could actually check exactly where that gap is with an airline. Yep, definitely missed. There's no getting away from it. This is going to happen. It's wash day for our Range Rover, and for that I'm going to need some equipment. I need something a bit more sporty than that. That's more like it. But this car has got all kinds of things growing in it, so it's going to be quite toxic, so I need some proper protection. Right, let's do this. John's vintage filth. He's a dirty, dirty boy. Right, time to get deep into that grotty undercarriage. Right, so now I've got this in position on my steel. I can now measure the distance between here and up there. Up there. Job done. Now that is a bit of a shame, but it is also slightly inevitable. Rather than revealing a nice bit of shiny copper colour copper, we've got this sort of black oxide version, because obviously over time, it's been a lot of time, the wires here, the moisture of the air has got to that skin and actually formed this oxide layer. Now the problem with that is you will get a sort of electrical connection, but it won't be a very good one. There may be some added resistance. Now, there are a number of ways of fixing this problem, but rather like the tank, I think I might go for a chemical solution. Now, this is a two-stage process. The first one being some vinegar, so just lovely. And then the next stage is a bit of salt. Now, it's normally about a cup of vinegar to about a tablespoon of salt, but this should be just right for our wires. That probably do. So then it really is as simple as in popping our wires into our solution and sort of jiggle them around a little bit. I'll just leave them there for a second, or perhaps some minutes. Maybe I'll go make a cup of tea. Even from a distance, this is looking good. Give it more of a jiggle. Oh, look at that. But that is amazing. So you can see we've now got lovely bright copper and no longer any of the copper oxide. So that's great. But the thing is, of course, that this chemical reaction is going to continue to sort of eat away at the copper if I don't block it. So that's the second part of the process, and that involves a little bit of bicarb and water. Right, so for this, water, a little bit of bicarbonate of soda, and then this alkali is then going to basically block the acid, and it's just going to stop the chemical reaction. So our copper will be good to go. Let's transfer some electrons around, it'll be lovely. So now I'll just pop that back in there, just jiggle it around a bit, make sure it's nice and stirred. I might leave it for a sip, and then it should be ready to go in a second. Right, that should be more than enough. Right, well, now that's dry and neutralised, you can see quite clearly that's lovely fresh copper ready to make a great electrical connection. It's a really handy trick.
I'm filming.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
You know what, mate? This Range Rover isn't going to fix itself, is it?
Oh, I suppose so.
Come on, let's crack on. Well, thank you, Pixies. That was a wonderful little trip down memory lane. Now, it wouldn't be Christmas without setting fire to your dessert. But the question is always, what should you actually use? Well, the first thing is to make sure that the liquid you use, the alcohol, is at least 40% proof. So here we've got this pretty standard brandy. We've also got an orange brandy kind of mix. And then because we're modern kids, we've also got a bit of gin. Now, the advantage with the gin is it's actually 43%, so it's a bit more sporty. So I'm just going to pop that into here because we're going to do a bit of an experiment to see which is best. So now I'm just going to get a bit of the brandy in there as well. Now, something I should mention is I've actually already preheated up these little ramekins. That's quite key as well. The alcohol wants to be as warm as you can. And then what we'll do is we're going to set fire to it, because the whole point of this, of course, in this world of Instagram, it's no good having a really lovely fire on your Christmas pudding unless you can actually take a good picture of it. So let's have a look and see what happens. But before we do that, we need to change the mood. That's much better. Right, okay, so a little bit of fire. Let's just light these up. So now you can see that there isn't an awful lot of difference. In fact, the kind of nearly pure alcohol, you can see it's a very, very blue frame, which is very difficult to actually pick up with the camera. There's a little tiny bit, perhaps, of yellowness here on our sort of mostly grape base. There might be a tiny bit of sugar left in there. You can see there's a little yellow sort of flecks in our sort of very, very sugar-based liqueur. Now, what you can do is you can actually make that a bit more interesting. So if you actually add perhaps a little bit of sugar, I'll just sprinkle that in, you can see your flame then starts to go orange. It's already cooling down, it's quite chilly in here. But you can do a much better job by adding perhaps a little bit of salt, which is probably not ideal for your Christmas pudding, but it certainly makes a much better job of things as the sodium goes lovely and orange. What a wonderful colour that is. So if you want a really fantastic photo, obviously you're going to need to use a bit of salt and maybe then pass the pudding on to someone else to eat. Otherwise, that's the way to get a wonderful flame. So now we've done this experiment, we should now do it properly with a pudding. Right, well, there is our pudding in our preheated dish, which is vitally important. So that helps keep the pudding warm, but also keeps warming up the alcohol as well. Now, the next thing we're going to need, obviously, is a little bit of that sugar. Or do you want salt instead? Should we go with salt?
No sugar.
Okay. So, I mean, you don't have to do this, but it kind of helps a little bit. Just put a little bit of the sugar on there. And hopefully that's going to help hold on to the alcohol. Maybe a bit too much sugar there. And then it's also going to hopefully change the colour of our flame. Right, so now the next thing we're going to need is our alcohol of choice. I'm going to go with one with all the liqueur in there. It's only pretty much 50% liqueur. So, of course, there's lots more sugar in there. So, again, you're going to get much more of an orangey flame. And it tastes better as well, which is obviously a big bonus. So the next thing I'm going to need is a nice hot ladle to preheat the alcohol, get it as hot as possible before it goes anywhere near our hot pudding and its hot base. So I need a bit of a change of mood. Paul, give us a hand. There we are. Fantastic. Thank you, Paul. Wonderful. So now what we're going to do is just put our alcohol actually into the ladle. And get it nice and warm. And then we set fire to it. Warm it up a little bit more. And then pour it over our pudding. Look at that.
That is nice.
Wow.
Look at that.
Tasty.
And hopefully we can Instagram that all over the place.
Eat your heart out, Paul Hollywood.
Fantastic.
He's a baker, not a cakeist. Or was it a puddingist? I don't know.
Deserter?
Right then, so while I'm serving this out, how about what is your best and worst Christmas present so far? Or ever, actually.
Well, mine
Go on, John, go for it.
was a Christmas jumper. Not this one. And the best one has got to be a single malt whiskey.
Oh, okay, nice. Okay, Paul?
Well, actually, talking about jumpers, I think my worst Christmas present ever was the Christmas jumper. But my best present, actually brought it with me today, was Ed's book.
Good choice.
Good reading.
That's
Thank
a
you very much.
fantastic book.
Thank you
Still
very much.
available, strangely.
And paperback as well, I believe now.
Absolutely, yes. And all available from the store.
Fantastic.
This is going to be great. Go on then, Neil.
So mine was a new steering wheel for my car that I'd written off the day before.
Wow.
But it was the start of a new rebuild, so yeah, all good in the end.
So best and worst all in one?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. That's a nightmare. Wowzers. Go on, Adam.
Best present was I had a really nice painting of my rally car off the wife.
Okay. And the car wasn't painted, it was actually a painting of it.
A painting of it.
Okay.
A painting of it. Yeah. And the worst one was some bath salts, and we don't actually own a bath, as you say down south. As you say down south. Where I come from, it's a bath. But
Well, there we go. And Alex, what about yourself?
So my best one was an MX-5 drifting day experience, which was great fun. And the worst one was some caffeine hair shampoo gel, basically saying that I had thin hair. That's very kind.
It's always nice. It's amazing how much truth comes out of Christmas. Well, there you go. Well, actually, talking of presents, in fact, I'll just pop that down there 1 second. Is there a plant? Oh, you haven't got one. Sorry, sir.
That's okay, it's only been down there. I've just been down there, up
keep
there, and then
passing
back
those-
over there, and then back there, and back.
It's been
It's on a
cooked
few
again.
miles, isn't it?
Well,
It's actually a hair. Hang
gonna
on.
need it.
I'll just remove that. Just pop that down there. Definitely haven't dropped
we
this
need to
pudding.
reduce
at
the
all.
amount on the plate.
There you go, sir.
Thank you.
And talking of brilliant presents, our tool partners Milwaukee have got some presents for you. 5 lucky winners will get a pair of tools,
Wow, that's fantastic.
impact driver, and no, these are mine, and an angle grinder. And if you want to have a chance at winning them, you need to follow the instructions and the link down in the description. It's going to be a brilliant present, so good luck. Now, obviously, next week is going to be New Year's Eve, so it's obviously a celebration for another day. But in the meantime, do have a fantastic time with your own friends and family. Happy Christmas!
Happy Christmas.